Let's bring Fox News chief political analyst Brit Hume with more. So tax subsidies in the Obamacare field, as well as what to do about health care. Big topic of discussion. That the problem with the Affordable Care Act, as many people see it, is it should just be called the CARE Act because it's anything but affordable, Brit.
That's true, John. And remember, this was a program known as the Affordable Care Act, also as Obamacare, that was passed by Democrats with virtually no Republican support back, 10 or 11 years ago. And you may recall that the heart of it was the idea that we could get young people to enroll and buy insurance policies when they don't really need much health care, that the money that they paid in premiums could then be used to finance the health care for older people who were normally sicker. Unfortunately, that requirement that you have health care, you have health insurance, was called the individual mandate, and it was very unpopular and was eventually repealed in the first year of the Trump administration back in 2017. So and the program is now seeing these extraordinarily high increases in insurance premiums. And it's interesting that the Democrats now think that Republicans are responsible for that when it was their program. And as I mentioned earlier, almost no Republicans supported it. Nonetheless, it has been a good issue for the Democrats and may continue to be. Yeah,
and when it comes to these Obamacare tax subsidies that are the center of this disagreement of the CR, not a single Republican voted for either one of those in either the American Rescue Plan or the Inflation Reduction Act. I just wanted to put this up on the screen because it shows, to your point, how much premiums have increased. $276 was the average monthly premium in 2015. That's now up to $625. So this whole episode of the 8 Democrats coming over to vote with Republicans in the Senate, and maybe a couple of Democrats might even come over in the House, has ignited this whole almost tipping point of the new guard trying to get rid of the old guard. Listen here to some opinions.
Do you think the Senate Democrats need a new leader?
Yes, I do.
Either he wouldn't or couldn't keep the Senate Democrats together, and it's extraordinarily disappointing.
I think we're in an unprecedented moment that, demands that we consider whether or not it's the time for new leadership.
Yeah, a lot of eyes on Chuck Schumer, but Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez said today it's about more than one person.
Well, perhaps it is, but you notice that those voices you saw, they're all in the House of Representatives. They don't have a vote on who's the Senate minority leader. And so far, as I know, we haven't heard from any Senate Democrats that they're ready to give their leader over there, Schumer, the boot. So as long as that's the case, he's probably safe for now. But I don't think I would be buying any long-term investments in older Democratic leaders in the Senate or the House going forward here.
Yeah, a lot of people think that after the midterms next year, he will no longer be the minority leader or the majority leader, depending on what happens. He just won't be. Britt, always great to catch up with you. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you, John.
All right, we'll see you again soon.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.